welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling a really critical issue for anyone trying to stay ahead in today's workplace. Employee upskilling and reskilling. The pace of technological change, driven by things like AI, automation, digitalization. It means constant learning isn't just nice to have anymore. It's, essential.
That's absolutely right. I mean, the traditional ways we've approached education and training, they're really struggling to keep up with the speed at which new skills are needed.
Yeah.
What was cutting-edge knowledge just a few years back can quickly become outdated.
And that's where our source material for this deep dive comes in. We've got a fascinating research paper here. It's titled Developing AI-Powered Training Programs for Employee Upskilling and Reskilling from the Journal of Informatics Education and Research.
Right.
So our goal today is to really dig into how AI itself is being used to transform employee training. We want to understand how it's creating these learning experiences that are, personalized, but also really effective.
And the implications, they go beyond just filling skill gaps, don't they? The paper suggests that organizations embracing AI in training can become more adaptable, more competitive, and importantly, see higher levels of employee engagement. These are the kinds of outcomes that really, move the needle for businesses and the people working in them.
Okay, let's unpack this then. What are the fundamental forces really pushing this need for a new way to train our workforces?
Well, the paper points to a core problem. Traditional education models, they're just not agile enough, not for meeting the rapidly evolving demands for new tech skills.
Right.
We're seeing a fundamental shift in what work actually is, requiring employees to continuously sort of level up just to stay relevant.
Yeah, just to keep pace.
Exactly. And this puts significant pressure on companies to find training solutions that actually work as they navigate this whole digital transformation thing.
It definitely feels like we're moving away from that one-size-fits-all approach in, pretty much everything, and learning is no exception. The paper even talks about this idea, the end of mass manufacturing in learning. That really sets the stage for how AI, with its ability to customize, can offer something fundamentally different, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, the core of the AI solution here is personalized learning. So instead of giving everyone the exact same content, AI can develop these tailored learning paths. It looks at an employee's preferred learning style, maybe their specific interests, and crucially, the skills they already have.
That sounds like it could be a huge game changer for efficiency. So instead of everyone starting at square one, the training adapts.
That's the idea, yeah. These AI-driven courses, they offer the potential for scalable, cost-effective, and really adaptable solutions for staff development.
Okay.
And the research behind this, it looks at various case studies, real-world data, trying to understand precisely how AI can improve things like, how well employees pick up new knowledge, how well they collaborate, and just their overall productivity.
What sort of stuff are we talking about in these courses? It can't just be teaching people how to use a specific app, right?
No, definitely not. The paper highlights that these courses often cover a broader understanding of AI itself, its potential benefits, its drawbacks.
Okay.
Best practices for handling data, understanding algorithms, how they work, even the trickier ethical issues around its use.
So the aim isn't just the how-to of AI, but also giving people that foundational grasp of the tech and what it means.
Exactly. Understanding responsible AI practices, keeping up with new trends, being aware of potential challenges. This stuff is becoming really important for everyone involved.
Yeah.
From the training designers to the employees, HR, leadership. Everyone.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal is to cultivate a workforce that can not just adapt, but really excel in this era of constant change.
Now, the paper gets into some interesting underlying principles. One that stood out was Knowles' theory of andragogy. Okay, let's unpack that a bit. For those maybe not familiar, what's the core idea there?
Sure. So Knowles' theory is basically about how adults learn best. It emphasizes things like learning by solving problems.
Right.
The learner needing some autonomy, some control, and making sure the learning feels directly relevant to their life and their job.
Makes sense.
And AI training programs are actually really well suited to support these ideas. Think about adaptive feedback that responds right away to how someone's doing, self-directed learning paths, allowing people to focus where they need to, and instruction that's personalized based on all the data the system has about that learner.
So the AI uses its algorithms and all that data to get a deeper picture of each person and then tailors the journey.
Precisely. And the algorithms do more than just tailor content. They also analyze feedback, assessment results, even the choices an employee makes during the training, all to optimize for engagement, keep motivation up, and ultimately improve how well they actually retain the information.
The paper also mentions UTAP and TAM. Those sound like important frameworks here.
They are, yeah. UTAU, that's the Unified Theory of Acceptance and Use of Technology, and TAM, the Technology Acceptance Model. They basically both suggest that people are more likely to actually use a technology if they see it as useful and find it easy to use.
Okay, that seems pretty intuitive.
It is, and it's a crucial point for AI-powered training. If these programs clearly help people fill skill gaps, lead to better learning, make them better at their jobs, and aren't a total pain to navigate, then employees and everyone else are much more likely to get on board.
That makes perfect sense. If it works and it's easy, people use it.
Exactly. And the paper stresses that for companies to really get the most out of AI in training, they need to watch how employees interact with these systems, make sure they have support,
Right.
provide resources, and just generally foster a culture that values continuous learning.
So let's get into the nuts and bolts. How does AI actually do this personalization? What are the mechanisms?
Okay, so at its heart, AI in education and training is all about creating adaptable, highly individualized learning. It customizes the content, sure, but also the pace, maybe even the methods used, all tailored to what each employee specifically needs.
Right.
And the research consistently shows this personalized approach works much better than the old one-size-fits-all methods for keeping learners engaged, boosting motivation, and helping them remember what they learn.
It almost feels obvious, doesn't it? When something feels like it's for me, I'm naturally going to pay more attention.
Absolutely. These AI-based adaptive learning systems, they're constantly checking an employee's understanding. Then they dynamically adjust the material, maybe make it harder or easier in real time to match where that person is right then. The research cited indicates these kinds of adaptive interventions really do lead to better learning outcomes across different people and different subjects.
This all sounds incredibly promising for, the future of how we develop people at work. Now, how are these AI training programs actually built? What's that development process look like?
So the paper outlines a pretty detailed research-backed approach. It starts with a thorough data collection phase initially.
Okay.
The focus there is getting a really deep understanding of the employees themselves, their current skills, what their job actually involves, how they prefer to learn, even past performance reviews.
So building a really comprehensive profile of each learner from the get-go?
Exactly. This first stage often uses existing data performance metrics, training records, but also gathers new info through things like interviews or surveys.
Right.
Then comes a crucial phase called feature engineering. This basically involves taking all that rich data about the individuals and their goals and using statistical techniques to pull out the most significant patterns and qualities, the things the AI algorithms can actually learn from and use to personalize the training.
That sounds like turning raw data into something the AI can actually understand and use. Actionable intelligence.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. After that is model building. This is where the actual AI systems get developed. The paper mentions different techniques: deep learning, reinforcement learning, supervised learning, all aiming to create training courses that are highly customized based on those insights from the feature engineering step.
And how do they know if these AI models are any good? What kind of evaluation happens?
Oh, rigorous evaluation is absolutely key. They use a whole range of metrics to see how well the models are performing. Things like F1 score, recall, accuracy, precision.
Right, the standard stuff.
Exactly. They quantify how well the model makes predictions relevant to learning outcomes. But they also bring in user feedback through surveys, and they look at performance reviews to get that holistic picture of real-world impact and user satisfaction.
Makes sense.
Then, once a model is thoroughly checked out and shown to work, it goes into the deployment phase. That's where the AI-powered courses get integrated into the company's learning management system or maybe other platforms they use.
It sounds like it's not a one-and-done thing, though. It's an ongoing cycle.
Not at all. Continuous monitoring and improvement are vital. New data, new feedback, it's constantly being fed back into the AI models.
Okay.
And the algorithms themselves get refined over time to make sure the training stays relevant, stays effective, and keeps meeting the changing needs of the employees and the business.
The paper even includes some hypothetical data analysis to sort of show how effective this could be. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, they present the scenario. Imagine a big multinational corporation. They do a hypothetical survey to really understand their employees, their roles, skills, career goals, how they like to learn.
Okay.
This raw data then gets cleaned up, organized, pre-processed. Table 1 in the paper gives you a snapshot of this hypothetical cleaned up data. You see things like employee ID, job role, skill level, training preference, a baseline performance score.
Looking at this hypothetical data, you really see the mix, don't you? Different job, different skill levels all across a big company. And a real mix of preferred training styles, too. Online, hands-on, etc.
Exactly, and that diversity just highlights why you need training that can adapt.
Right.
The paper then explains how they use statistical methods and subject expertise to pick out the key features for their AI models, things like job function, current skill level in key areas, and those stated learning preferences. They even describe training a neural network to predict future employee performance based on this data.
Interesting. And how did that predictive model do?
Well, Table 2 shows the performance metrics. It got an accuracy of 0.85, precision 0.88, recall 0.82, F1 score 0.85.
Yeah, pretty good then.
Yeah, in the context of predicting performance, those are strong numbers. It suggests the model is pretty effective at spotting patterns and making decent predictions from the input data.
So it shows the AI can learn from employee data and make useful predictions about their potential performance.
Precisely. Then they simulated evaluating the actual AI-powered training courses using hypothetical user interactions and follow-up performance scores. Table 3 sums up those findings. And it shows positive trends. Average skill levels went up, job performance scores improved, even employee satisfaction seemed higher after taking the AI-driven training.
That feels like pretty solid evidence, even if hypothetical, that this personalized approach can lead to real improvements in skills and performance.
It does. And the paper also stresses that this is ongoing. Continuous monitoring, finding areas to improve the AI training, like refining the recommendation algorithms or maybe adding real-time performance feedback.
Right.
But the overall takeaway from this hypothetical data is pretty strong. AI-powered training looks like it can be highly effective in helping employees develop the skills they need.
This all points towards some really significant wider implications for, well, the future of work itself.
Yeah.
How does AI-powered training really slot into that bigger picture?
Well, the paper argues that by using AI algorithms, organizations can dramatically improve how well their training fits individual employees, their unique profiles, their learning styles. By factoring in things like job duties, past performance, learning preferences, the training just becomes much more relevant and, frankly, more engaging for each person.
And that engagement piece is so critical, isn't it? If people are actually invested, they're way more likely to learn and remember.
Absolutely. Personalized learning leads to better retention, better application of the knowledge in their actual jobs. Plus, think about all the data these AI training programs generate. Enrollment rates, assessment scores, performance results. Organizations can use those insights to constantly improve their overall training strategies. And the adaptability of AI courses is just a huge plus in today's fast-changing workplace.
And for big companies, maybe spread out geographically, the scalability and consistency AI offers must be a massive advantage.
Huge, yeah. AI can deliver high-quality, consistent training to loads of people wherever they are without the usual logistical headaches and inconsistencies of traditional methods. Ultimately, the paper really drives home how significant AI-powered training is for workforce development overall, getting people ready for an unpredictable, constantly shifting work environment.
So to kind of wrap it all up, what are the key insights we should really take away from this deep dive into AI-powered training?
I think the main takeaway is that businesses are increasingly using AI as a powerful tool to modernize how they train their people. It's a response to this rapid technological change we're all seeing.
Right.
And these AI-driven courses, they smartly blend cutting-edge tech with, proven learning principles to give these really personalized, adaptive experiences.
It really boils down to tailoring that learning journey to the individual, their needs, interests, current skills, which then boosts engagement and helps the knowledge stick.
Exactly. The paper also flags some important things to keep an eye on as this field grows, like the ongoing need for strong data security,
Sure.
addressing potential tech vulnerabilities, and also doing more long-term studies to really understand the lasting impact of these programs.
That long-term view is so important, isn't it? We need to see if these improvements really hold up over time.
Absolutely. The paper also suggests bringing together diverse teams, experts in learning science, AI, organizational development, to collaborate and make these training programs even better.
It sounds like we're still maybe in the fairly early days of this, but the potential to really transform how we approach employee development feels enormous.
It really does. The paper also touches briefly on exciting future possibilities, like maybe integrating more advanced AI tech, think VR or natural language processing, to create even more immersive and engaging training. But, at the end of the day, successful AI-powered training really depends on the organization being ready for it.
What does that mean, ready?
Well, having the right digital infrastructure, a workforce that's prepared for this kind of shift, and crucially, leadership that genuinely supports this new approach.
Got it. So the key takeaway is really that AI isn't just changing industries out there. It's fundamentally reshaping how we learn and grow professionally. It offers this path to more personalized, more effective upskilling and reskilling.
Exactly. And it leaves you with a really interesting thought to chew on. As this AI-powered training gets more and more sophisticated, how might those old lines between education and work start to blur? Could we be heading towards a future where continuous learning is just seamlessly woven into our daily professional lives? And if so, what are the opportunities and maybe the challenges of that kind of future for us as individuals and for our organizations?